Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello my students and welcome to English for Iraq. This is me, your English teacher Ahmad Qasham, and we are still in Unit 6. Unit 6 is about jobs. In this unit, we've learned many useful things for our life. We've learned the names for different jobs. We've learned how to talk about our future career and how to talk about what we want to do after school, what we want to study at university. For today, this is the last lesson in Unit 6. We will be studying in the activity book, doing some extra activities. And for next lesson, we will be starting with a new unit, Unit 7, to learn new ideas, new vocabularies, new things to improve our English. And now, my students, move with me to your activity book, page 91. We have extra activities. Exercise A. Some boys and girls are talking about what they are going to be. Listen and circle the job each person is going to do. So, what should we do? We are going to listen to some boys and girls, and when we finish listening, we should choose what each one of them wants to be in the future. Now, here are the names of different careers and jobs. Now, before we start listening and doing this exercise, let me remind you with something very important we have already learned. It's going to. Going to, my students, similar in meaning to will. It's for the future. But when we talk about something we are almost sure about, when we talk about our plans, but will is used for the future when we are not sure about something. When we talk about something we just expect, we are not sure about it. Now let's move to listen, and please, while you are listening, try to open your activity book and to choose the correct answer.
Unit 6. Extra Activities. Track 42. Listen to these boys and girls talking about what they're going to be. Circle the job each person is going to do. 1. When I finish school, I'm going to work in my father's restaurant for a year. I really like working in the kitchen, making delicious food for people. Then I'm going to go to college to train. Perhaps one day I'll have my own restaurant. 2.
At school, my best subjects are English and Arabic. I'm also learning French. I'm going to try to get a job in a newspaper office. They help with reports from other countries.
3.
My best school subject is mathematics, but I also like geography. I really want to visit other countries. In the evenings, I often go to the airport and watch the planes. As I watch them, I think, one day I'm going to fly one of those.
4.
After school, I'm going to go to training college. My favourite subject is history. I just love it, and I want to tell other students about it later. I'm very patient, so I won't get angry if my students aren't interested in it at first. I'll just have to make my lessons more interesting.
5. My favourite subject at school is science, and I'll need it in the job I'm going to do. I've always liked animals, and I don't like seeing an animal sick or in pain. I want to help make it better. First, I have to go to university though. 6.
At school, I'm quite good at Arabic and IT. You know, working with computers. After school, I'm going to go to college and then get a job in an office. Writing letters, answering the phone, talking to visitors, all those things.
And now, my students, after we've finished listening to each girl and boy and what they want to be in the future and what they want to do about their jobs, let's start choosing. The first one talked about working in a kitchen and about having his own restaurant in the future. So the correct answer is C. Number 2 talked about languages and this suitable for a translator. Number 3, he talked about the airport, watching planes and visiting other countries. So this is suitable for a pilot. Number 4, the speaker talked about his love for history and how he will be patient with his students. So it's very clear that this is a teacher. Now, number 5, the speaker talked about his love for animals and how he wants to take care of animals and make their health better. This is the vet. Number 6, the speaker talked about what? Working with computers, greeting visitors, dealing with reports, papers, etc. And this is the work for a secretary. And now, my dear students, we have exercise B on page 91 and exercise C on page 92. What do we have in exercise B? Complete each sentence with the correct word or phrase from the box. So we have some words and phrases in the box. For certain means sure. Patient has got two meanings. As a noun, patient is a person who is ill. As an adjective, is the person who doesn't get angry very fast with somebody about something bad. Take, repair, fail, uniform, career, study. Let's start with the first sentence. What do we have? My car is not working, so I will ask the mechanic to what? To do what? To repair it. Now, the second sentence, when I finish school, I am going to, we have a blank, English at university. So, I am going to do what? I am going to study English. The third sentence, in my last year at school, I have to, blah, 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 an important exam. Now, my students, I want to remind you with something very important about this word exam. About this word, pay attention. With exam, we can use 3 verbs in most cases. Take the exam, fail the exam, and pass the exam. Now, in my last year at school, I have to what? To take an important exam, and after this exam, either I fail the exam or pass the exam. Now, the fourth sentence, if I don't work hard. I will the exam. A student who doesn't work hard will what? Fail the exam. The fifth sentence, our teacher never gets angry with us. Never gets angry. So how can I describe this teacher? Never gets angry with us. She is very patient. Now, the sentence number 6. Use going to when you know blah 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 what will happen. Here we have what? We have a rule of grammar. Now, we use going to, as I have already explained, when you know for certain, when you are almost sure about something in the future. Now, sentence number 7. Before I finish school, I will make a plan. A plan for what? For my future. For my future, what? Career. Now, number 8. I don't want to be a policeman because why? Because I don't want to wear a uniform. This is the last one. Now, move with me to exercise C. Write the correct school subject. As I told you, in this unit, we focused on 2 parts, 2 points. The names of the careers and the names of the school subjects. I'm talking about vocabularies. Now, here in this, in this exercise, I have to focus on the last word every time. The last word is the most important. It's the key for the answer. Now, number 1. I'm sorry about the writing. I tried to make it clear, but the problem with the book itself. My best subject is because I enjoy working with what? Here we have numbers. So when you are working with numbers, you are studying what? Mathematics. Now, number 2. I quite like because I enjoy learning about other what? Countries. When you are interested in countries, going to other countries, you are interested in what? In geography. Number 3. We study blah 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 because it is important to learn about Islam. And when you are talking about Islam, about Christianity, you are talking about what? Religions, about religious education. This is school subject, religious education, and I taught you that religious education can be abbreviated as RE. Now, the last sentence, I don't like blah 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 because I am not interested in the past. When you are talking about the past, you are talking about what? You are studying what? You are studying history. Let's move now to the next exercise. To exercise D, to read a paragraph about a man called Kamal Mustafa. Kamal Mustafa is a teacher at a school in Al-Anbar. Read about him and answer the questions. Write short answers. So all what we need here, short answers. I'm going to read this text. History and geography were my best subjects at school, but mathematics was my favorite. So, for him, history and geography were his best subjects at school, but mathematics was his favorite. So, he was good at these subjects. However, I was quite lazy. So, he is frank here. He is talking about himself, that he wasn't very hardworking. he was quite lazy. Quite lazy, not very lazy. To some extent, was lazy. So, I was surprised when I passed all my final exams. I went to university and studied mathematics. So, what did he study at university? Mathematics. All the other students worked hard. At university, he found that all the other students working hard to pass the exams and to get higher marks than their friends. So I did too. So Kamal at university started to work hard. After university, here we have a new period in his life. I got the job I wanted to do, so I went to Al-Haditha for a year as a volunteer teacher. So, the beginning of his career was like a volunteer teacher. When we say a volunteer teacher, he worked for no money. So he wasn't paid. He just worked to get some experience as a teacher. Now here, I didn't get any money, of course, but I found that I really enjoyed teaching, so he liked teaching. When I came back home, I went on a training course, then got a job. Now, after 1 year as a volunteer teacher, he went back home and got a job. My first job was in a big school in Ramadi. I didn't enjoy living in a big city. So, after 2 years, I decided to move to the country. The country. We have the city and the country. We know in the city there are a lot of people, a lot of tall buildings, cars. It's noisier than the country. In the country there are fields, trees, maybe mountains, rivers. So the nature in the country is more peaceful and more quiet. I have been in Al-Anbar for 5 years and I'm very happy here. I am going to stay as long as possible because he is happy. I teach students how to work with computers. So now he is teaching about computers. He is teaching IT. Most of them are very hardworking. The students he is teaching are hardworking. So I don't have to tell them to work. They know that computers are important in today's world and they learn very quickly. Sometimes I find that my students know more than I do. This is very good from Mr. Kamal, that he is modest. He is frank about himself. Now here, at this line, he said that he was quite lazy. He didn't feel embarrassed or shy to tell the truth about himself. And here, he is saying that he found that some students better than him. So what? I still have to study. So he found himself lack in some knowledge. Now let's move to answer the questions. Question number 1. Why was Kamal surprised when he passed his school exams? Why was he surprised? Because he was quite lazy. Now, question number 2. What did he study at university? What did he study at university? He studied mathematics. We can just write mathematics, but okay. Now, number 3. Why did he work hard at university? Now, at school, he didn't work hard. Now, at university, why did he work hard? Because all other students worked hard, so he did too. Now, number 4. What did he do in Haditha? He worked as a volunteer teacher. He worked as a volunteer teacher for no money. Now, how long has he worked as a teacher in Al-Anbar? For 5 years. So he worked in Al-Anbar for 5 years because he liked the place there. Now, question number 6. Why did he come to work in Haditha? Because he didn't like working in a big city. And the Haditha, it's like a country, and he likes small cities, or he likes the country. That's why he came to Al-Haditha and liked working there. Now, question number 7. What subject does he teach now? Now, at university, he studied mathematics, but in his job now, in his career, he is teaching what? He teaches IT. IT means information technology. Now let's move to page 93. We have another question, question 8 about this text. Find these words and match them to the meanings. So we are looking for what? For the definitions. We have number 1, students. Here it's not clear. I'm sorry about again and again the writing. It's out of my control. Now you have your books in your hands and you can check the writing very well. Now, number 1, students. Number 2, volunteer. What is the meaning of students? Someone who works without money, or people who are studying? Of course, people who are studying. Number 1, B. Now, volunteer, someone who works without money. This is very important. My dear students, this is everything for our lesson today. Thank you very much for being patient with me. See you next time.